I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Rise and shine, campers. Welcome to episode 12 of Horribly Hollywood Single. I'm your host, Adam Carr. We talk about bad dates on this show, some of the worst dating stories told by some of the best guests in Hollywood. And speaking of guests, man, I have some wonderfully lovely ladies, absolutely beautiful and hysterical, with us today on set. First off, my guest co-host, she's been a dear friend of mine, UCLA, we worked together for a long time. You know her from Ant-Man, from AJ and the Queen, the new RuPaul show on Netflix. Give it up for Miss Lindsey LaRose, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Let's get loud. They're having so much fun before the show. To her immediate right, our lovely guest for today. You know her from Pretty Little Liars and Ned's Declassified. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lindsey Shaw.
My girl.
Hello. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
I'm so excited I got you both on the show.
Oh, man.
Super excited to be here.
Is this real? Is this real? I feel like this would be
We're actually...
No, that is a very non-Me Too moment. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I know her, and I know that she does like that. She does like that.
There was some cuppage. There was some grabbing. Not from my side.
There was
no,
2
sir.
inches. There was room for
But that was also a Me Too moment, you know, for friends, because you can't be whatever.
No.
Let's move off this moment immediately.
Absolutely. So, guys, welcome to the show today. We talk about bad dates. This is Horribly Hollywood Single.
So my bad date was on the AfterBuzz podcast with Lindsey Shaw, and she grabbed my boobs.
My gosh. Wow.
This isn't... I'm just going to shut up today. I want to let the ladies talk. Do whatever you want to do.
It's that big Lindsey energy.
Yeah, it's a big Lindsey.
Yeah.
As you said before the show, 2 Lindseys make a right.
Right.
2 Lindseys do make a right.
Yeah.
We're thinking about writing a book.
Yeah, you should have
Called
a
2
biography.
Lindseys Make a
Two
Right,
Lindseys
and
Make
it's actually a driving manual.
So
It's to help you pass.
it's only sold
to
in
pass your
Britain.
driving test.
It's only sold
or
in- yeah.
like tricks that I've done with cops to not soften, but maybe soften the blow. That's a great one. We would have great.
You know, when I get pulled
advice.
over, I start crying.
Immediately, but it's honest.
Just tears.
I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything.
No,
This
it's
is
just
great.
like-
the show.
Tears. And I'm like, why me?
Do you get to do that?
Right.
See,
Like,
guys
please, I
can't
can't
do that.
handle this right now.
When we
Right.
get pulled over, we have
I bet
to.
you cry a little.
Oh well, I mean, I always cry, but
Officer, please.
Right.
This month.
then they look at me and they say, "Oh, you got some pretty hands, boy," because I'm a hand model.
Hand
just
model.
so you know,
Let's
I am a
see
hand
'em.
model.
Okay,
These
of
are
course.
amazing. George Costanza quality. Let me tell you something. God built my hips wide, but my hands are beautiful. You understand? Like these things will hold up.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Like sometimes if I make my fiance mad, I'll go, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to?" And I'll just hold things
Right,
up in
and you'll
front of
just
her.
you'll fiddle
And
her with
that-
your hands.
Yeah, that's oh god.
No, like
Yeah,
fiddle her
no,
fancy.
I was
Like,
like,
do you want a
yes.
balloon
Right.
puppet?
That's
Would
it.
you like a little mitten?
Right.
Fill
Yeah.
time.
You want a little mitt show? Yeah.
Right?
Little MIDI for the kids?
Yeah, fiddle. You know what I mean? Fiddle needs to take back its innocent connotation.
Yeah, you know what? It should.
Doesn't it?
Gosh, I don't know where we are today.
There's a lot of
Fiddle me
sexual
timbers.
energy
Fiddle me
happening,
timbers.
It's
which is
okay.
good because this is a show about dating.
Absolutely.
So,
if you,
great.
I'm gonna kick it off first.
Oh, boy.
There's a blog called thesinglesociety.com by the
good.
wonderful Nikki Nelson.
great.
She talks about bad dates, different things. So I like to do this to kind of kick it off, give you a little taste of the flavor, so to
Love
speak.
it.
That's what
By
he
the way, so here we are. Okay. While finishing my graduate degree, I was living alone, and one could say it was the quintessential bachelorette dream. You've both been there.
Still deep in that dream.
Living that dream.
With Tinder and other dating apps becoming more prevalent, I was definitely enjoying the influx of dates I was having, as well as the growing notches on my bedpost. Oh boy.
Whoa!
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
girl. Yeah,
Little
girl.
lady
I'm right
getting
there
it.
with
Do you notch it
girl,
on the
girl,
bedpost?
girl.
Yes, after
Yep.
every man
I
leaves,
whittle it out.
I
Do a little scratch.
Do you keep a journal?
Tallies.
Whittle.
A journal of men?
My grandfather actually passed me down a knife that I whittled my bedpost.
she whittles it.
You fiddle and then you
It's
whittle.
like, you know, in like a jail cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Very
mine looks like.
That?
Shawshank. Very Shawshank.
Yeah, it's Count of Monte
Another
Cristo
man,
meets
another
Shawshank.
talent.
Yep.
Pretty soon
Sure.
till you can tunnel out. Got it?
Totally.
Let's see.
he
So,
can tunnel
yes,
out,
life was
right?
grand until it was time to start paying off my student loans and move in with my parents. The move
Yeah, no, I
absolutely
get that.
decimated my dating life, as entertaining members of the opposite sex in a room in which I shared a wall with my parents would most likely be frowned upon.
Horrifying.
Ever gotten it on while your parents were in the other room?
Absolutely not. My mom's listening.
No, but I absolutely, like, I went and lived with my family for 2 years recently, like a year ago, and I could barely even date myself when I was in there.
You know what I mean? Couldn't find me.
Know what I mean? So I totally relate to that. Go on.
Yeah.
One night, I was aimlessly swiping through one of my plethora, it's a great word from Three Amigos, a plethora of dating applications, and came across Brent. Nice. Monosyllabic. Brent was a charming lad who was slightly younger than myself. But clearly had an old soul behind his stunning blue eyes and boyish features.
I feel like I dated this Brent.
Yep. Brent and I hit it off fabulously over tapas and drinks at a local watering hole, and when we wrapped up, we decided to continue things back at his place, obviously. We cracked open a bottle of red wine, which was followed by a bottle of white. Hey, mixing.
Oh.
Brent and I
would be way too...
That's a lot of sugar.
You do,
Sorry, go on. I would have to go on.
Brent and I ever
That's a
so
big
effortlessly
belly
lost
full.
ourselves in some wonderfully engaging conversation. And before I knew it, we were immersed in a full-on makeout session. We had just made our way over to Brent's bedroom when we were startled by a violent banging on the front door. Who the hell could that be at 2 a.m.? Brent asked, bewildered. Bang, bang, bang.
She's like, I don't know. This is your place, you psychopath.
Who's that? Your drug dealer? I don't know.
How would I know? I just met you. Okay, great.
Good.
I love
bang,
this
bang,
girl.
bang. We heard Brent's roommate scurry out of his bedroom and down the stairs to assess the situation and listened intently to figure out who in the world would be causing such a raucous at this ungodly hour. Raucous? Ruckus. It's
A raucous ruckus.
A raucous ruckus. That's it. Brent's roommate scurried back up the stairs and gently rapped on the bedroom door. Hey man, is someone named Kristen here? Her parents are looking for her.
No, literally, no.
What?
Oh, no.
The
I mean, I get it. It's 2020. Weird stuff has been happening.
fuck is the sentence. Horrified, I jumped out of the bed, straightened my blouse, and ran down the stairs to find my
She's still at her top one,
pajama-clad mother and father impatiently
No.
waiting. This is Everybody Loves Raymond.
Also,
This is
get
a Raymond.
dressed. If you're
Yeah,
searching for your
girlfriend.
daughter,
But
get
if there's
the
yeah, you're
parents
right,
are in their
you're right.
PJs.
In her 20s.
Get dressed.
We were so worried about you. Where have you been? We had no idea where you were. I sound a little bit like Adam Sandler trying to do a female voice when I do that. We had no idea where you were, they squawked furiously. Mortified, I assured them I was okay and that I was with my friend Brent. Brent stepped up nervously to introduce himself and apologized for losing track of time.
Fully hard.
Some gentleman you are, my mom said.
Fully erect.
Not
Excuse me, Mom and Dad. Didn't think we'd meet this way.
but I'm seeing what the daughter's gonna look like in
You guys
30
are in your
years,
PJs.
and I'm liking.
Oh, no.
Some gentleman you are, my mom said, not having one bit of his meek
Oh.
apology. I shooed my parents out of the door while expressing my own remorse to Brent. I have yet to hear from Brent again. That's up there.
You know, okay, that reminds me of when you got that, you started to get independence with your parent, and I would go, but then this one time I didn't come home and my mom called everybody on my phone bill.
No shit.
Yeah.
Everybody on the phone?
Everybody on my phone bill. And this was when like you were just starting to like make these friendships, and I was just like, it was awful. But I get that. At least you have parents concerned enough to do that, but also
That's a little much.
I don't blame Brett.
That's a lot, right?
How old
Don't
was she,
blame
did it
Brent.
say?
It said she was in graduate school, so I'm assuming
Right, so
post
old
22.
enough.
Yeah,
Old enough, like, too
okay,
old that your
mom and
daughter-
dad.
yeah.
Holy crap! Like it's
Right.
too like, come on.
If you're 17, sure.
Yeah,
Right.
Post college?
I want to know how did they
Graduate
find his,
school?
and how did they find his address?
Dude, that's some. She must have said,
Because look,
I mean, it's good if she's leaving where she's going to be with. I think that's a really good
then why would
practice
they
that
go
not a lot of
anyway?
people do.
If you leave where you're gonna be, I
Right,
don't know if I
right.
buy the story actually now.
Right.
There's a few holes in the story for me.
Okay.
Because
People are-
if she left, she's like, I'm gonna be at Brent's house. This is not, which is first of all also weird. Like I would, sorry, but
I'm not going to send an
don't-
address.
yeah, don't
hey,
leave
by
your
the way,
address.
I might be
Right.
here.
Right.
May or may not be having sex
don't
later. Please
know.
leave me alone.
Sounds like it's
maybe she shares her location with her parents.
That's probably. Oh my
She
God,
might
that's
have
what it
shared-
was. Oh my God! Of course, it's
Right.
2020.
Well, maybe they looked at the phone.
I'm
yeah,
like, she
or
left
shared the location.
address for her mother.
She wrote it down.
wrote
She
it
left it on the
down.
corner of a book here.
What do you mean shared their location?
The year was
she shared.
19.
Oh my God! We're just getting warmed up, everybody.
I know.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And trust me, it takes a
Technology.
while. So
100%.
please.
What a wait.
Pace yourself.
I can't believe I thought that she left a note. Of course she shared the location. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, she shared location. Would you think it was
Look,
1984?
I've
They
read
just
a
wrote
lot
it
of
on the
stories
counter.
lately that are horrifying of women who get abducted and they're getting taken home on these first dates and it's, you never know. I feel for the parents, but at the same time, boundaries,
I feel
y'all.
for the parents, but it's like
Boundaries.
dude. What kind of situations is your daughter getting in at 22 that you feel like you have to track her down at 2 a.m.
like she
on a
might have
night
been
when
in-
she's just getting some?
She could have been in
like
rehab
that's such
before.
a normal
That would
young
have been-
person activity.
Right.
That I don't understand. Like
don't know.
if my mom, I mean what happened to me happened when I was like 18, which is still pretty late in the game.
Sure.
Right, but I had
But-
like started driving late. My mom was like
And
crazy.
that's still like high school-ish.
Right,
So like I
right,
can see
right.
getting protected. Like you're still under my roof or whatever.
Right. But 22 is like, dude, you're
Or
out.
grad school, which is older.
Yeah,
So
you're
that's-
out doing stuff anyway.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
know.
we feel for you, girl. We're glad you weren't hurt. We're
And if
proud
she's
of your
okay.
parents, and we think that y'all should go to some therapy and start letting go.
Yeah, maybe have some boundaries with your mom and
maybe
pop.
maybe they have something really traumatic. Okay, you know what? I'm
Yeah,
not gonna start
I know,
going down
I know,
that
I know.
road.
We're
Never
gonna go
mind,
down,
never mind,
like,
never
it could
mind.
be.
We don't
It could
shame
be.
or blame
know.
anybody.
We don't
Right.
know. So
But that is a pretty good date story.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's really good,
bad.
right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good horror.
So I found it. I was scouring this last night, 2 a.m. So
Love that.
today's show is not brought to you by Burt's Bees, but I do like their pink grapefruit. The
Nice
show,
moist lips.
We talk. We talk about bad dates on the show. Lindsey Shaw, I know Lindsey LaRose is quite familiar. I used to be kind of a bit of a mess, so I'll give you just a little bit of a short list.
I really have seen you. I've known you for like over 10 years, I think.
I think you've known me a
and
hot second.
I've really seen you grow into a
A person?
charming,
Stop it.
respectable man. It's been beautiful.
Lindsey, stop it. I'm going to cry.
love history with
And
people.
he's engaged to a beautiful woman who is just, you guys are a
She's
perfect
just
match. I'm so
saint.
happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm the exact same as I was 10 years ago.
Consistency is key, baby.
Right.
Right?
I'm just staying true to who I am.
Right?
Still,
That's gonna win you that Oscar.
True
That's
to
what's,
who I
that's what's gonna win us that turmoil. Is what's gonna pay off in the end, right?
So,
Come on, you guys.
Keep it consistent.
Right.
my dating was kind of all over the place. I was on a bunch of different apps. I was drunk most of the time. My logline here used to be, I took out a homeless girl once. Kind of figured that
I
out.
love that story.
Went out with a sex addict for a little bit. Not as much fun as you think. I got blackmailed on Filipino Cupid, doing some stupid stuff because I wanted to meet a nice Filipino girl. Just some stupid
blackmailed?
things. Oh yeah,
Well,
it wasn't.
it's what you- it's
Like
what you-
extorted for money?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
one of those.
exactly what blackmail.
It's exactly. When you say blackmail,
way,
You mean
I
exactly what blackmail is?
Adam, I have to say, I was here. I was in your life
you were
during
there.
most
I think
of
when
those.
I was telling
you
those
were, like,
stories,
reading
when I
the
had
emails.
when I had my horrible Valentine's
Right,
Day. I think I told you about at the
yeah,
ArcLight.
yeah.
That's coming up.
Yeah.
You remember that one? Yeah. Just when I
was
broke
a
up with
good
Virgin
one.
Lupus. Not a good thing.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you were searching for the
yeah,
love.
I was
Yeah.
just. I think.
And then I think
yeah.
you really kind of stopped and then fell in love with yourself and really worked on yourself. And I think that's when
Yeah,
then you
that
were
was
ready
a big
to find.
thing. I had to kind
find
of.
your lady.
I also met someone too who she was really good at calling me out on my crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of had the choice. I was like, all right, do I want to grow? Do I want to
Right.
learn?
That grow together type of love.
Or do I
Love
want to
that.
keep saying, they're crazy, and then go to the next one?
right.
You only have so many, they're crazies.
Right.
But they are crazy.
Oh, they're all nuts. No.
And
no,
maybe
for
you
sure,
were
for
too
sure.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
sure.
was. I mean, oh
sure.
no, I
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gone. I was gone. But we're here.
Okay.
So, if you ladies have anything you want to share, get off your chest. If it's either bad relationships or a
Right.
bad date or something unique to Los Angeles, please feel free. I'm not a therapist, but if it makes you feel better.
I thought
Treat you
that's
as
what
one?
I thought that's what this
Yeah.
was.
By the way, we do have in the booth and in our headset here, Mr. Jeff Graham, who's our married voice of reason on the show. He married his high school sweetheart. Such a sweet guy from Ohio, just like me. Jeff, say hi.
Guys, I'm glad to be here. I am just loving the show. This is just...
It's got some energy, right? It's got some pep.
It's the best. The three of this is not the last of three of you guys are going to be on camera together.
Three amigos.
Yes.
Hope
Yeah,
so.
we're also starring in a remake of. Somebody help me with a funny
What
Three's
is
Company.
it? Three's Company. Thank you.
Company.
Three's Company.
I want
That
Three
wasn't as fun as
Amigos
it
to
could've
be redone. I hope it is.
Oh,
love
come
Three
on.
Amigos.
Don't
You know,
touch
Three
the
Amigos.
classic.
Babe, they've touched them several
They've
times
touched-
at this
they've
point, and I'm
overtouched
not
the
classics,
overtouched
yeah.
the classics.
They've touched them all.
You know,
They've touched
there
them
was
all.
rumor that they were going to remake Splash. Also, this is me avoiding the question of talking about dating.
That's
By the way, I'm like,
Oh my gosh,
they were going to remake
for
Splash
sure.
with Channing
No,
Tatum and Jillian
babe,
Bell.
Like the subject of dating is so raw and
Yeah.
traumatizing. So much of my own
Right.
self-worth stuff comes up when I go on a date. So I mean, you go with your
I'm
story
like,
because
here,
my dating
step into my closet
dating
of
stuff is
skeletons.
so like.
First off, let me
right.
just ask. you both are absolutely stunning ladies
Thank
in
you
Hollywood.
so much.
Do you
Thank
find
you.
what's it like? I have no idea. Do you get guys coming up to you all the time trying to ask you out in person? Does that freak you out? Do you get a lot of people matching with you on apps? What do you look for when you're going out and matching with someone?
I
What's your thing?
literally get almost nobody coming up to me
Right.
and approaching me in person. Like, literally never.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once.
Would that be
and
different if
turned
someone
into
just
a-
came up and was like, "Hey,
yeah,
what's up?"
Yeah, it was attractive. It was attractive because it was confident, and you know, we also lived in like a similar vicinity, so we saw each other at the corner store, so it was like kind of hot. And
cool.
Sorry, what were we just? What was the question?
Basically,
Sorry, I always do that.
The question
Okay.
is, do we get hit on?
Yeah,
what's it like? What do you look for?
that happened like once, but
Well, I think a lot of it is sadly unwanted. Like it
Sure.
right.
sometimes it can be kind of creepy, and I think women, regardless of just women, get really harassed on a daily basis, which
Yeah,
is kind of
and
sad.
I think
men are getting better about it, for sure.
because
but-
they're becoming more aware of it. I think guys in
Right.
general just didn't realize, when I do this certain thing, like when I, come up to you at the gym and say,
Right.
"Hey, why are
Oh
you
my gosh,
smiling? What's going on?"
Oh my God. Oh,
like,
yeah.
just, my fiance, she would tell me, like, guys would just come up all the time and just go, "Hey, I see you all the time at the gym. You never smile. It'd be so much. You'd have so much more fun if you just smiled." Or start
That's
giving
when I
you-
want to get real weird and crazy. I'm like, yeah, like this. And they're like, oh my God. I read something that was like, if someone tries to attack you and
Oh yeah.
steal
You literally piss yourself.
You're supposed to pee your pants and be like, la, 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 and I was like, I would go so
Literally,
ham.
let
I
me
would
teach
get
a class.
arrested.
Have you seen? Do you remember James McAvoy in the movie Split? It was part of the
yeah.
trilogy. That's what the girl tells the other girl to do when he's taking it. She goes,
Maybe
"Pee on
that's
yourself.
where we
Pee on
heard it
yourself."
from a movie.
No, we definitely thought that
read
this
it.
was
It's a
our
PSA,
instinct. Thought this was
right?
the right
or it's
thing.
an M. Night Shyamalan script. Wherever you heard it first, that's where.
I mean, that's
No,
so
that's what they
sad
say.
that that's
because
our reality.
I
but,
know, and that's what you're being
yeah.
taught instead of just like, no, maybe guys
right,
should
instead of just saying,
respect
"Hey,
your boundaries.
leave me alone," I have to pee myself and foam at the mouth and have my eyes bulge out of my head. I can't just simply say
rabid
no,
raccoon.
thank you.
So just go rabid
What
raccoon.
is? Yeah,
But
that's
here's the
crazy.
thing. Here's the thing. Like, it's out of balance in all ways. Like, there's
Right,
a chance
right,
for
right.
everything to come back into balance. Like, females to realize their own power, because it's not like men just
Right.
took it. Like,
Right.
they didn't give it to us in the first place. But like, you know what I mean?
Good point.
Like, we have given it. Like, I don't know. The pendulum is swinging all the way back, and that's nice. But like,
Right.
we've given it away in a little bit of other ways. And I know that that's going to be a really I don't mean that because I know women haven't had like all the opportunities. I'm not trying to start a political thing here. I'm just saying like women give it away by not asking for what they need and want. And that has just become like a societal
think-
norm for the,
yeah, and
for the female. But
Right.
that's just needing to learn how to.
And I think that's
that.
situational, of course, because
Right.
if you're being overpowered or something,
Right,
about
right,
Gallery,
right,
you
right.
can't
Of
just be like,
course,
"I
of course,
say
of
no."
course.
But
Right.
but I get,
But just
I
having that
totally get what
female
you're
voice,
saying,
right.
Like the guy at the gym. If a guy at the gym comes up to you and is like, "You need to smile more," I would love to be like, "Hey, don't talk to women like that."
Right.
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 And
Finding
then
your
bye.
voice. Yeah.
And then he'd
yeah.
go, "Oh, it's your problem. You have an
Yeah.
attitude problem."
Yeah,
well,
right.
that's what
Right.
you're saying.
That's happened to me
Right.
before, where I've actually confronted a man about that, and he goes, "Wow, you're a bitch," and I was like, "Yay!" It's like men like you that
Right.
people are like women are more hardened and everything now because of that response. Instead
Right.
of just being like, "You're right, I'm so sorry. Like, let's start off on a different foot." Like, you can still try. Like, I'm not
Right.
saying
Right.
goodbye and to hell with you, but it's like, geez, then if you get
Let me personalize what I was saying, because I don't want that
No,
to be
I
like
get- yeah,
like an
no, I
outlet.
get
Like
it, right.
for me, I've given my like feminine
Yes,
power
right.
away. You know what I mean? And like my female voice. So I like that's been my personal experience.
Right.
So just finding that, and I just don't want to be like taken the wrong way, because it is like a very sensitive subject that I am respectful of. I just yeah.
No,
Anyway.
I think it's also that's a
Don't
good
want to
point,
speak
like
on
in the
general
workplace too. Like
generalities.
No, I think that you're making a good point. That's just like kind of just in day-to-day life of like take your power back, which is great. And I think
Ask
that
for what you need, make boundaries.
which is in the workplace,
Right.
in relationships. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Because I think that we're getting kind of like, oh no, like I can't say anything, but you totally can,
Yeah.
and that's what you should do. So I agree with you.
Right.
I guess like dating wise, should I just
You went
dive in?
you were
Don't,
talking
do
about
it.
that date last week?
Oh, right. Okay. So Full disclosure, I just got out of a. I want to be protective of how I say it because
I'm sitting right
it's
here.
Still,
That's
Adam and I. No, I was in a very serious and very, very intense relationship for the last 2.5 years that ended technically a year ago, but we all know how that is, where it kind of bleeds over and
Sure. It's like
you just can't quit.
Caught in
Yeah.
a bear
Touching,
trap,
for sure.
limping away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't go on, and then it's like, so it's still like I'm still healing from that, and like the biggest thing that I'm working on is finding my self-worth again because I dated someone who kind of just really, and it wasn't even intentional. It's not like he knew that he was doing it. I don't think he knew or was trying to kick me down, but it was like it was just not healthy for me. I guess that's what it. And and if I had known and was fully self-aware of my self-worth, I would have walked away probably sooner. But because I wasn't, and because I kept getting kicked down because of circumstances that were part of our relationship, like a crazy ex. That and I hate saying crazy. A unstable,
Emotional.
an emotional, and also a woman who was hurting.
Right,
So like
right.
that's my biggest thing too. Is I was like, now that I'm. As we mature, it's like I have I have so much
empathy for other women, like
which is a curse,
yeah,
too, because it's like then I'm like sitting here defending someone who's fully cyberbullying me, but I'm like, but she's in pain.
Yeah.
But that doesn't excuse. I'm sorry, like if you're in
female
pain, don't cause pain for me. Like that's not empowering.
Either own your emotions or put them where they belong, or like you know what I mean. That misplaced like
if
emotional
it's
energy,
attacking,
is rough.
not good.
It's rough.
And so I really kind of like. Suffered from that for a while, and it was really hard to get back on my feet, and I'm still obviously healing about it because I'm talking about it. And so I just recently, in preparation for this podcast,
Thank you so much.
have dipped my toes back into the dating life because I was like, oh man, I need to come up with a bad dating story. And I was like, I haven't been on a date in years. I was
Reginald,
like, what is dating?
As you got your little smoking piece.
I just picture like crazy hair sitting on newspapers
I'm going
for some
out
reason.
tonight.
I'm doing it.
Just sitting on
smear
mounds of cat
lipstick.
food. Yeah. There.
Oh my god. Just
They'll love me.
climbing over my
Stockings
garbage.
ripped.
I'm gonna do it spraying perfume. He'll never smell the garbage of the litter. So I joined all the apps, which has been terrifying and also such a waste of time. Because
Doesn't it feel like you're doing something, but it's like a great way to waste time a little bit?
Oh my gosh, it has been so horrible. I'm like on my phone and I'm just having the most mundane conversations. Oh, how are you? Cute smile. The weather's so nice out today. What are you doing this weekend? And then I'm like, I don't want to meet you.
Right.
So then I'm like, sorry for wasting your. It's just like a mess. But I did go on a couple dates.
There we go. Same guy
Here they
or
come.
different dates, different people?
Different.
Good for
Every
you.
day of the week. Just
Every day of the week.
I'm like, it's for research.
I don't really like you, but I'm hoping this goes bad so we can talk about
Right,
it.
give me a good story.
You're paying for this, right? Thank you. I got the salmon.
Okay, the biggest thing that I learned from my last relationship too is pay attention to red flags, which I think we'll get into later.
That's a segment of the show.
I'm so excited because I love red flags now that I'm aware of them.
Totally.
Before I was like, oh my god, a dozen red flags. Like, thank you so much. Like, I love them.
That was like a red dot,
like you're, like,
Land
I'll
here.
carry all your bags.
Yep.
Like, no problem.
Oh my gosh, you need help? Let me literally provide everything that you need.
Yes.
Like, I will fix you
At my own
whatever.
expense.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
No, use mine.
Right. Here's all my mental health to help you.
My tank's empty, but let's take on yours.
Let's go.
Yeah. So fully. So red flags are huge. So what's been so great is I've really been journaling about, red flags, pay attention. And like when a guy tells you who they are, really listen. God bless this guy that I went out with last week. Let's just call him, give me a name.
Ralph.
Marty.
Ralph. Love it. Ralph. I'm like, his name was Marty. Like, really nailed it. So let's say Ralph. Okay. So, guy is so nice. I'm talking to him for like a week. We're texting. He's so funny and like witty. He's a writer. I was like, oh, great. Like, so smart. And he's like, let's go to dinner, which I was like, cool. That scares me because like, that's a commitment. Like,
Yeah.
you got to sit through some food.
Or at the end, it goes badly, you just get drunk and get some cake.
And then, God forbid, he splits the check. And I'm like, you ordered all this food.
Piece of
I
shit.
didn't do this.
Piece of shit.
Right?
I ate it all, but you ordered it all. This is on you. No, but disclaimer, he paid for it, which was very nice. Anyway, so I'm so nervous for this date because I'm like, I haven't been dating in a while. I go home after work and I drink 2 glasses of wine. Okay, that's like a lot, like after a day of work for me. So I'm like, I'm just like, oh yeah, like, oh, we're back in the day. And I'm like in the mirror and I'm like, you're back in the dating game. Like it was just off to a bad start. Like before I even met him, my mascara is running a little bit at the edges. I'm like, don't cry.
So great.
Don't cry.
Wait, sorry. You had 2 glasses of wine before the date.
Before the date.
Dude, that's an Adam Carr.
Don't cry.
You just took a.
Just don't cry.
You just took a. That was my playbook. That was like,
Oh
let me
man,
get a
'cause I
little
was like,
loose.
oh loose. Oh, too loose. I show up 2 sheets to the wind. I'm like, oh, I walk in. I think like a boob was out probably. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Which one is you? Which one of you is paying for my food? It was so bad. I'm like, I think I had one heel
I
on.
want the pumpkin risotto. Yeah.
He's like, this is a sushi place. I'm like,
want
bring
the
out the
burger.
cake first.
This is In-N-Out, right? They have bacon here, right? No. I didn't.
One eye is
Wrong.
completely shut. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm here. I'm ready to fall in love. I'm on The Bachelor. I bring roses. I'm like, which one will steal my heart? Also, halfway through the day, I'm like, next. He's like, what? Okay, so I walk in, you guys. I kid you not, it's out of a movie. He's standing up, so he's like waiting, and he's so handsome, tall. I was like, this is gonna go great.
Yeah. Climb like a tree.
Drunk. And I did Uber, which is great. Also, my Uber driver,
yes.
the whole way there, I was like, I'm so nervous. I'm going on a date. He's like, you'll be fine. Dead silent. Doesn't give me any advice. I'm like, help me. Like, he was like, here's your stop. So he's like, shut up. Yeah, he's like, you're my
actually
favorite.
He's
tried
like,
to
oh my
ice
god.
you out.
He's like, there's a drunk white girl in my car. This is gonna go on Instagram later. I know it. Just go.
Oh my God. I'm like, I matched with you on
I
Ryan.
don't want to take you. I don't want. I like Lyft.
I didn't even like you.
Thank you. Just go.
So I get there and he's like, Lindsey? And I was like, Ralph? You must be Ralph. And he was like, oh, right away, you guys, I kid you not. He goes, are you okay?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I go, obviously not. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, yeah, my hair was probably like, ding. So I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm like, cover, Lindsey. Like, get it together. You look drunk. So I was like, yeah, so good to meet you. Like, I try to keep it together.
Right.
We're talking. Everything goes fine. I save it.
You save face.
He's like, let's get some sake going. I'm like, let's do
shit.
it. I was like, it's frat night. I'm just kidding. But I was like, okay, cool. He starts telling, I'm like, tell me about yourself. And he's like, I have a kid. And I was like, okay. And I just got out of a relationship with a guy with a kid, and it just
Right.
was,
Holy
it was a
moly.
lot. It was a lot.
Red flag. Bing.
Oh, it was a lot. So, and the kid was wonderful. I love kids. I loved playing stepmom, but not again. I need a
Hey,
little break from that.
Julia Roberts.
Right.
We got you.
Right. Yeah, I just need to, so I was already like, oh, first red flag. And he's like, yeah, and I see him twice a year. I was like, oh, second red flag, because you should see your child. If you have a child, go be a part of its life.
That could
If
be
you
nice,
are not
and
a part of your child's life, I cannot be a part
Right,
of you.
I'm like, go, right.
Yeah.
I'm like, go be a parent. The
Right.
story's taking way too long.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Like,
it's
that
good.
was no like shame. Like that was.
No,
like,
I know,
totally
I know.
opinion.
And here's the thing, like, everybody's living their own life.
You do
but
you, you
to
do
me,
you.
yeah, right, do you. That's why I
Such a
was like,
judgmental-
I'll stay.
Ugh.
No.
fine.
It's from this,
Dude.
but it's also
It comes from a
thank
good
you.
Nobody's
place.
perfect. I've
Right.
done worse than anybody. Please.
Right.
It's
I think,
okay.
I think we're just saying,
You're welcome
like,
in this house.
fathers just put in a little effort. to
Kids need
be-
their dads.
Yeah.
Kids need dads,
So-
man. That dad confidence you get when you're a kid.
Right.
Spend the rest of your life looking for that if you don't get it.
Right. And
Sorry, I just truth bomb.
Adam, do you want to talk about that more?
First off, I have a
I
wonderful.
next?
I have the.
I'm like, on that note, how are you guys with your dad?
So
Do you guys?
that's not.
Let's talk about our
relationship.
relationship
Don't
with
Don't
his
worry,
mom.
I just need like
No,
some
because I was such
sutures.
a. Sorry, that's just.
Look,
I used to
no.
pick apart dates, and I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Go on.
You go on.
Long story short, it was just like a plethora of things that I was just like, I'm not ready for this because I'm still taking luggage off my back
Yeah.
from the last relationship. And he was like, I don't talk to my mom. She left when we were 15. I punched my dad in the face and went to jail because he tried to get my younger brother to sell drugs. And I was like, like just sucking back sake.
This guy did this on a first
Were you at
date?
a deli? Because this is a heavy matzo ball.
Right.
Like,
Well,
was he okay? Was he okay?
Right. That's what I was like, you've got some stuff
He
to
was
talk
projecting
about.
on you. I bet you didn't even look drunk. I bet he was just like feeling that. So he
Right.
was like, "Are you okay?"
Right.
When
And he
really
was like,
he was just like, "I'm about to literally spill
was-
my soul. This is what I feel ashamed about."
Which I was
is
like,
what I
kind
did.
of gave him credit for, because I was like, way to
we
put it
love
all
that.
out on the
Yep,
first date.
we do
I'd
love
rather
that.
find out now than 6 months in,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So, and it kind of turned into like a tell me your story. And it was like a really beautiful story. You know, he's really made great strides and he's a wonderful man now. But I was just like, oh, I don't know, no. Like, I was just like, I can't handle it right now.
Yeah,
and
right,
like,
right.
and there's going to be a woman out there who's going to hear that and be like, I want to help you.
Yeah.
And he's going to meet a beautiful woman who is going to love all that baggage, and God bless her. But I was
It
just
sounds like
not
you
for
just
me.
got done running a marathon, and literally
Right.
someone said,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you want to go run 18 miles with me tomorrow?" And you're like,
Right, and
no.
I was like, I cannot.
I cannot.
Right.
Just a quick 5K, just something to wet the beak.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Red flags. I'm really paying attention, and I wonder if I'm almost too sensitive to them now because I don't want to be judgmental to people. And
Time out,
and
you
if you
guys.
have a
Please-
kid, that's
please
fine.
don't be
Like,
mad. I have to go to the bathroom again. It's literally because of this.
Oh, go
but
be- yeah,
literally,
we'll
I will
keep
go
talking.
so fast.
She's
Okay,
going to
literally,
take a
we'll leave
big old
so
poo.
Lindsey Shaw is leaving,
snort cocaine.
so
I
now
don't do that anymore.
we're gonna talk.
anymore.
We're gonna talk. Let's talk some shit.
I really hope I didn't make her uncomfortable with my horrible
Fine.
date
You
story.
just got rid of my guest. You 86'd her.
I did. Well,
You were
that's like
done.
all
You-
the dates in my life. I mean, this wouldn't be the first. Speaking of my date, that's how that ended. He
So
was like,
that's-
I gotta go to the bathroom and never
he leave?
No, I'm just kidding. No. It ended up being great, and he and I are like, you know, I'm like, wish you best of luck. Oh, also he was like, I just got fired. I don't have a job, and I want to be an actor. And I was like, do you have any experience? Do you have any experience acting? And he was like, nope. And I was like, I was just like,
How old is
and he
he?
was like, but it'll be fine because like, you know, I feel like I'm a good actor.
I
And
have
I
all
was
these
like,
contacts now.
right. I was like,
That's the
I
best.
was like, good luck. Good
I
luck.
was-
with that. I don't think I can date anymore.
I think I once had a date with a woman who was an entertainment lawyer, and I was like, "Oh, great! So she gets the business, but she, you know, she's actually going to be
Right.
making probably a steady paycheck.
Right.
This is like good for down the line, right?
no.
This is a good
Where
prospect."
is it
And
going?
literally sat down, she's like, "Yeah, so I
No.
quit the law firm, and you know what? I'm
No.
getting into acting. I have all
No.
these contacts," and I was like, "Oh,
And like, good for you.
Great.
Like, follow your dreams. Quit that
Awesome.
job. Go
But
do it, but not on my
This was not what I needed today." Basically, just as narcissistic
Right.
as possible. Like, how does what you're telling me affect the stories that I'm going to relate to my mother later so that she doesn't think I'm going to grow old and die alone?
Right.
That's what it-
so
yeah.
I'm trying to be super open-minded and like I
you're doing
said, he was
wonderful.
great. I think I messed up the date because I showed up super, but it was actually, I'm glad that I had a little
fine.
wine because honestly, if maybe I didn't have the wine, I
Maybe
probably
if you
would have
weren't-
been like,
you wouldn't have been as open.
can't do this. Yeah, 'cause
you would
it
have been
was
much more
super
acquiescing.
triggering.
Like you might have been, just
Yeah.
that's great.
yeah. So
a good
I mean,
thing.
he was sweet. I just couldn't. It wasn't the right timing.
Hey,
So I don't know. I
do
think
what you
the
gotta
whole thing that I'm. Here she comes.
Lindsey
guys.
Shaw's coming
That was
back.
quick.
You guys, I thought it took really long because it was
She's
a
doing
long
great.
one.
Yeah.
You know those coffee peas.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh, the coffee
do I
peas?
ever?
It's the worst.
I know the coffee poos too. I'm a
Wow.
big
Yeah, I tell ya.
fan of a coffee poo.
This show, we're
Okay,
going,
never
we're going
pass
all
up a good
over.
coffee poo.
Right out there.
We're-
It just
Okay.
goes right through.
I gotta
you.
tell
Speaking
ya,
of which,
I
I-
hope, yeah.
Had to put a bunch of paper towels under my
You're doing-
armpits because
That's
I'm
my favorite
literally
trick.
sweating through my life, and I'm like, why? It's because of the coffee.
It's the
That does
coffee.
a number on your
We're
central
also
nervous
talking
system,
about like
drugs.
kind of
Why do I
uncomfortable.
keep bringing up drugs? Because I'm still healing from them.
Right. See,
You gotta
when
do what
people
you gotta
talk
do.
about stuff that it's because they're still processing it, and
Right.
it's still, which is good.
Yeah.
it's good to, and I also
Bring it
love.
up.
Yeah, and
But this isn't AA, so let me no,
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
was I not even
okay,
supposed
so
to say that?
I'm done with my story. Ended. He was fine, but I was like, thank you, no, thank you, next, right? So I was like, that's how it ended. So that's my horrible dating story.
Which,
It's not
by the
even that
way,
horrible,
is
it's
the
just-
next Ariana Grande. So,
Thank you.
no, thank you.
Thank you,
I
no,
will
thank
go
you.
out on a limb and say he was a bigger, beautiful mess than you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even
Right.
being whatever sheets to the wind you were.
Right.
You know, he
Also,
was,
I just-
he
Maybe
was
sheets to the wind.
emotionally
I
4
also-
sheets to the wind.
Can I also say too, going back into dating, it is so big. Personally, I'm gonna get on a little soapbox that you know your values and what you value in a relationship, because I forgot those in my last relationship, and I just let them kind of dissipate, and forgot who I was and what I believed in and what I stood for. And that's why I got so hurt and so wrapped up in something that was so wrong for me, because I wasn't tapped into what my core is, and I'm finding those again. For example, like family. I value family so much. So when this guy who I went on a date with last week tells me that he has no relationship with his family, I'm like, that doesn't work for me, because for me, the guy that I want to be with, respect, has a good relationship, if not is working on a relationship with his family. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. So just know your values. It's like what you want, because then you'll attract a like-minded person.
And I value somebody who has little to no family. So, no, I'm just kidding.
You're like, I don't want any in-laws.
I love the big family life.
Big family life?
Or at least like close friends.
Right.
Or close relationships.
Family,
I guess I value good relationships.
Those relationships are important. Because kind of like whatever you have now, I feel like it just extrapolates every 10 years and it gets worse. So, like Larry David at one point was a more social version of Larry David, right? So, like in his 20s and 30s, he probably did a little more, but then each year, just think about it, like each decade, you're doing less and less.
Right.
So if they already aren't doing something now,
they're
not going to magically start doing that in their 50s. Like, it's going to get worse. They're going to want to talk to less people. And then they're going to be like, why are you talking to your family so much? Like, I'm fine. Like, yeah, exactly.
Like, literally not possible for me. Like, that's why I'm scared.
You're wonderfully social and fantastic.
I do have to say, Lindsey is one of the most like generous with her time and talent, like, and you are so giving with like your spirit and your like just your energy. It's just beautiful. So I'm so glad to know you, and that's why I was so excited to.
Here's what I know: you were like a half hour early today to show up, which to me is like one of the. It's really weird
looking
how
like
that
a movie
just
star that she is. So
that's
it's
just
like
a very nice gesture. You don't have like it's not. And a lot of people sometimes they're just wrapped up in different stuff. But I just heard you right outside. Nope, here for Horribly Hollywood Single. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, for sure.
She shows
for sure.
up.
It was definitely because, you said I'm going to be there like 2:40. We were texting today. That was nice. Yeah.
So thank you for being so generous and open all the time.
Yeah.
Speaking of open, tell us your story.
Oh my gosh.
Spill the tea, girl.
Well, you guys, okay, so I'm actually the dater that needs work. Like, my horrible dates, I think just because, like, I'm so always turning everything back on me, it's just something that I do, that I don't know. Like, when I've been I was seeing this guy for a little minute, and he would take me out to these nice dinners and pay for them, which honestly, I was like 26 years old. Like, I was not used to that. Like, it was like a trip. So I would find myself this usually very talkative and opinionated and, I don't know, like, not interesting person, but at least, like, can carry a conversation. Like, I almost felt paralyzed. Like, I almost felt paralyzed because there was just a lot of self-worth stuff that came up.
Right.
You know what I mean? I started judging everything that came up. It really paralyzed me in that entire relationship. There was a bunch of external circumstances that exacerbated the situation, but at the core of it, it's just that I literally had no picture of what it was like to be treated nicely, like even nicely, you know, like I think I'm still cultivating even relationships with friends where I take care of them. Like, I think nurturing and taking care of is not something that comes like super like naturally to me. And so when people take care of me, I don't know, it's just like this whole thing around care and worth and whatever. So I think I'm starting to figure out how to do all that with my friendships now and with myself. So I just feel like dating is like a long way off for me. I haven't been on a date in a long time. Like, there are people I hang out with, but a nice date, I'm excited to get back into it, but it's very scary, and I think it's going to be a lot different. Like, I almost wanted to cry when he bought me dinner because, like, I've literally bankrolled everybody that I've ever slept with, I feel like. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Isn't that
You're
ridiculous?
not the first woman to say that on here, and it almost seems like
because that it's a control thing where you have the upper hand too. Like, you provide, you da-da-da-da. Like, it's
like,
a way of
you're not like,
vulnerable.
I'm not dependent on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like a reverse. It's not good. You know what I mean? It's almost like you trying to establish your upper hand in the relationship.
Okay.
Or
You know?
your worth too.
Or
I
your
think maybe
worth.
it's
Like,
it
you
could
think
come
it's
from a
hinging
place
on
of
money. Right.
Of like proving yourself.
Right.
Like, look, I can.
And it's safe because you know they can't leave because they depend on you for something. You know what I mean? Like, it's so. And then you ended up presenting it, and then they wonder why you don't want to fuck them, and it's like, Well, but you've created that scenario. And that's why I'm saying about women taking their power back. Like, and just not their, like, personally, just like tune in to what's going on and what's going on with you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that theme takes over a lot, especially with women making money and whatever, you know.
Because I was like, there is power in being the breadwinner and saying, I'm going to pay for this dinner.
Right.
It's just, it has to come from the right, like, it has to be a thing with you and the
person where it's being reciprocated in some equivalent way.
And not codependent.
Yeah. Right, but it's like, so when the tables were turned and this happened for me, like I literally was brought to tears. Like it was a moment. You know what I mean? Something I should have been used to.
Like, were you enjoying it?
I
Was it like
loved it. Like
right.
it like I remember talking to his like mom when she came into town, and like I got equally choked up.
Right.
Like when I was trying to say it back to her of just like, that's so nice. Because even for my own family, I've been financially the person, you know what I mean? So from a very young age, it's like, that's always been on my mind and stressful, like to make money, and not only for me, for other people, right?
Yeah.
So that I guess has been one of the biggest, like, I don't know, lessons I've learned about dating. So that's not exactly one date, but that's a theme that I'm trying to overcome with
the dates,
dating.
the lessons, the advice, the stuff that you get.
Yeah.
And because you are just naturally so generous in every aspect, at least from what I've seen as your friend for all these years, is like you are so giving. So it makes sense that, especially to a relationship, you're going to bring that, because that is a really strong quality of you. It just can't be taken advantage of. Right. And also, you deserve to be brought generously too. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
let somebody
people
provide
take care.
for me. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You worth it. You worth it.
You worth it, girl.
We love each other.
So anyway, I'd like a PS5 for Christmas. My shoe size is 9.5.
I'm like, so Lynn's like, are we going to
pay? I mean, you're gonna pay, right? I mean, come on.
I show up drunk.
Yeah, this guy shows up drunk. We're at the gym. Don't be a bitch.
Lindsay and I are like, we're working on our problems. I ordered $300 worth of alcohol.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I love it. We're doing fine.
You're doing great.
We're doing.
I'm
happy.
Speaking of great,
I'm happy.
No, totally. You know,
I'm
so happy.
I went a half hour early. Didn't you hear? I'm like almost like the best I've ever been.
I'm just gonna let him talk.
Sorry, go.
It's perfect.
How are we on time?
I'm not
I feel
even
like it's
here.
been like 3 hours.
We're doing fine on time.
Okay.
Don't worry about the clock. So anyway, next up, we're gonna run in some red flags. We're gonna play some red flags. So you ladies have some cards on the table
Okay,
here.
look at them?
perfect.
And what I would like to do, Lindsay, we'll start with you, LaRose, at the end here. Read your red flags out loud. And then the idea is these are bad things that you can't deal with, right? But then pick in the words of Step Brothers, pick the bugaboo. Pick the one that you absolutely could not make amends with in a relationship.
Got it.
Okay. Like the deal breaker.
The deal breaker for you.
So I have to read all of them out loud?
Read them all out loud.
I mean, guys, it's really great. Literally always drunk.
Seems like
Is this the red flag I'm giving someone, or that I'm
So
receiving?
that's yours.
So
that one's mine.
The energy is alive here tonight.
I'm surprised I'm sober right now, to be honest. I'm just kidding.
You're doing
I
great.
almost took one back to loosen up, but then I was like,
fine.
show up, Lindsay. Okay.
Be present.
Be present.
Hashtag be present. Hashtag
We're
goals.
growing. Also, I'm referencing all the people in my brain. I'm just kidding. Okay, wow, that's scary. My mom's like, you need help. Okay, so literally always drunk, text exclusively in emojis.
I love that.
Or always bragging about past sexual conquests.
Oh, that's always fun.
That to me is desperate and insecure, which
I'm gonna say that out of these three,
babe,
that's
babe, literally always drunk is not your.
It's fine.
he'll join me in the fun.
No, perfect. No, perfect.
First
no,
of
you're
all,
right.
like that just goes to show I have a big problem because I date a lot of alcoholics. Honestly,
Oh my God, you do
We're
not
in this
deserve
business.
I date a lot of East Coast guys, and
this
they're all like,
business.
Massachusetts, I'm drinking a beer at all times. And
Drinking
I'm like,
a beer.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
a
superior.
part of my
I'm gonna have
identity.
my beer here.
Yeah. What? It's water.
gonna
No, it's a
get-
beer.
Get in the
horrible.
van, go down to Atlantic City.
I mean,
All right,
I
cool.
guess literally always drunk should be the one.
All right, Lindsay, we'll do yours, and then we'll get to wrapping up the show here. We're getting a little past. All good.
Afraid of sunlight. Jealous of your pet. No, I would actually low-key like that. And speaks with a constantly changing foreign accent. No, that's actually a requirement to date me. I'm gonna have to go with, I mean, afraid of sunlight.
Right.
Afraid of sunlight.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? If you're afraid of sunlight, how
vampire.
can we get it on our hikes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prickly
Can't do that.
pear. Okay.
Well, really quick. Obviously, you guys have, I think, done great. You've already kind of given, I think, some advice throughout the entire show here about what to do, your self-worth, and what you want. So, real quick, you want to give out handles where everybody can find you, online, stuff like that?
I am on Instagram at Lady M Shosters.
And for you?
I am also on Instagram at Lindsey, Lyndssi, LaRose, LaRose.
That's it. That's the
Yeah?
handle, is my name.
Guys, this is Horribly Hollywood Single. Be sure to subscribe, like us on Apple Podcasts and YouTube. Just want to leave you with one last little bit of advice here today. Dating is like pouring a bowl of your favorite cereal, only to find that the milk is expired. Dating in LA, same thing, only you don't know that the milk is expired until after you've eaten everything, and food poisoning consumes you for the next 24 hours. This is Adam Carr. I want to thank Jeff Graham, Lindsey LaRose, Lyndsi Shaw. Just want to remind you all, stay horrible, stay single. Hey, we don't judge.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.